Hey everybody, thanks for coming back. So I wanted to show you our progress on our pavilion. I would call it an outdoor kitchen, but what's called an outdoor kitchen today is pretty fancy, and this is not going to be all that. This is a 12 by 12 deck extension. There's a video out about this gate that I built. I'm getting ready to change it to a sliding gate, which that's another story, and I'll document that. What we ended up doing on this 12 by 12 extension was to the existing deck was we put up 4x4 posts. As you can see here, now I'm going to walk around and show you how we're locking that stuff in. And then my wife and I last weekend put up the ridge beam, which shows that I'm going to have 2x6 rafters, 24-inch on center, and then purlins that'll go across. They're 1x4, so they're like 3/4 of an inch thick, and then a metal roof. And you see these blocks here? Those blocks we just put up just to support while we were carriage bolting everything in. So let's take a walk around and I'll show you what we got going on. So a good place to show you what we have on the base down here. So we got these 4x4s that are going up 10 feet into the air, okay? And then down at the bottom here, you see that these are bolted, carriage bolted, to a post that is in the ground. It's about that tall in this case, and they are about 16 to 18 inches in the ground in concrete. And then I bolted the 10-footers to it, and then so there's actually 3 carriage bolts in here that's bolting that to support. And then these supports coming over here to the next one. You're going to see it's the same deal, except I've got 2 carriage bolts on this center one. There's one down there at the bottom. As we move around, you can see that it's bolted in the same way to another 4x4. There's a carriage bolt there providing the 3rd bolt going in sideways, and so on and so forth all the way around. And you can see how it basically constructs out. And you go up here and you see that there's 2 carriage bolts holding that 2x6 in, and then the cross beams, I've got 1 carriage bolt holding those in. Up here on these supports, I got 4x4 supports going at a 45, and I just marked 12 inches down so I could get it. What I did was I channeled out here for 6-inch lag bolts that are screwed through here and screwed into this post. That's for extra support. Under here, if you can see, there's one of the 2 carriage bolts there. There's one going the other way, and we're going all the way across. Now these are supported up here by 3-inch carriage bolts, 3-inch 3/8 carriage bolts that are screwed in on both sides, making a total of 6 inches. And here's another perspective where you can see on the other beam, same way. There's your 1 carriage bolt going all the way through, but that's not as secure as I would like it. So I added these 4x4 angle supports, and there's one of the carriage bolts on the other side. The ridge beam, and here's just the support in the middle. So what I had to do here was I had to find the dead center up on top, which I did, and then I took half the width of the ridge beam, and I channeled out. It ended up being 3/4 of an inch because it's 1.5 inches high. So I channeled out on the 4x4 1.5 inches, and I got that screwed in there to the on all 3 of these. There's the one down there at the end, and then here's the one back up here at the front. Same song and dance. So I just got those in with 2.5-inch screws on both sides, and I think that's going to be good. We use basic railing here. Now this is not finished, obviously. We just put the railing up just to add a little teeny bit more support as necessary, because we're only going to be spanning, a few feet to keep it from wobbling. And after I put these angle supports in, man, it sturdied up big time. Now these blocks, these support blocks, these 2x4 support blocks, they were just really as a guide. They're coming down later today, because my neighbor is coming over in just a little bit, and today we are going to install the rafters, the purlins, and the metal roof. So I'm going to get back to you on video again in a little bit when we have all of that completed. We hope to get that done today. He does do this as a trade, so he's really good at it, and we are hopefully going to be one more step closer to a final finished product when he comes out here this morning. Based on what he's telling me, it shouldn't take us the whole day to do this. It's just a 12 by 12, but we're really excited about it, and I'm really excited to show it to you. So check back and we'll talk to you later. So I wanted to give you a little bit of detail. This is about a 212 pitch. And the rafters are 6 point some feet long each. It has about a foot of a hangover. The purlins are about 2 feet apart. I got rough and tough. I got 4 on each, one up there towards the ridge cap, then another one, then another one, then another. So it's 4. They're not exactly 2 feet apart, but they're evenly spaced. The ridge beam is set at the bottom of the ridge beam, or the top of the ridge beam, excuse me, is set at about 8 foot 6 inches, and then the bottom here is 7 feet. From where I'm standing on the deck, it's 7 feet high. So that worked out, and believe me, I am not a mathematician. I had to look on the web to figure out how to figure the pitch and all that. My neighbor came over when we put this roof on, and he figured it out like in 15 seconds, and he showed me some cool tricks with the speed square that I didn't know about. Anyway, so my wife and I put up everything, including the ridge beam, and then I cut all of the rafters, the purlins, and fed them up to my neighbor who was up top, and then he put everything on. Okay, this is the depiction after the roof is on. So as you can see, now it's been a few weeks because life has happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I haven't been able to document much, but some things I did get done during that time. Obviously, we got the roof on, and I'm going to walk under there in a second and show you a little bit of that detail. This is just a side view or an angled view from my door. This is our outdoor kitchen coming along. And no, it's not totally finished. My wife decorated it a little bit, and we did put some lights up, which look really nice at night. So if we move in a little bit, we can see we got some plants. We did get the roof going like I wanted. We got the purlins, and we got the metal up there. As you can see, the ridge cap, 1x4 purlins worked out really well. My neighbor, being a roofer, was able to do this in just a few hours, and it turned out really nice. Now, what he did was he used nails for the purlins into the rafters, because the nails weren't so rigid like screws would have been. So when you're screwing in the metal, if you happen to be on a nail, it'll at least have some give and it'll go off, so you won't destroy your metal. That's why he did that, and he recommended that, and I went with it. He's a roofer, not me. So panning on down, you can see this looks just like the other one. It's still not finished yet. but I did put, we have two grills. We have a Weber we bought years ago, a gas grill, and then I didn't actually win this. This was a gift for my 20th anniversary where I work, and you could select from a catalog, and this is what I selected. It's a Weber kettle grill. Had one of those many years ago, loved it, never replaced it. Over here, what you're looking at is a Camp Chef. My wife uses this to can when she water bath cans, and if that's going to sit there, and it's going to do us right this year as well, keep us out of the sun. And then one thing I wanted to show you here that I did over the last several weeks was I built this frame, and this frame is going to be an outdoor countertop bar, if you will. It's scrap 2x4 construction with screws. Now I've got to connect it together in the middle here, and I just put OSB on the bottom. So what the perspective that you are seeing is from the rest of the deck. What's going to happen here, and I'm going to document this for you, so this will be coming out in another video, is I'm going to put slats on here. Actually, I'm using 5/4 deck boards, and they're just going to be long 7-foot slats. The top that I have is a live edge pine top that I've had for probably 6-7 years, and it has reached equilibrium out here because it's been sitting under my lid. First it was in a storage unit for 2 years, and before we moved up here, and now it's been sitting under my lean-to nice and flat for 7 years. I actually have 3 pieces of it. This one's 8 foot long, the longest one, and it's about 22-ish inches wide. So I built this frame to hold the top, and now what I'm going to do is take these deck boards, and they're going to just look like slats going horizontally across. I'm going to document that so that you'll be able to see what we're doing. I'm staining those. Not going to stain the top. Just going to put a shellac sealer on it, and then I'm going to put about 250,000 coats of spar urethane on it. It's not going to be exposed to the rain and the direct sunlight very much. The direct sunlight, maybe a little bit in the afternoon, but the goal here is I want to preserve it as much as possible. So this side's going to have the slats. That's going to go around the back, the front, and then this side over here. And then around here on this, from this perspective, let me zoom out a little bit here so that you can get a better, there you go. These are going to have doors. So I'm going to have a drawer over here, a long drawer over here to hold the grill tools and various and sundry things there, and then a couple of doors underneath that. And then over here I'm just going to have doors, no drawer, so that I can hold charcoal and charcoal lighter, and any other taller things that I may need to put out here. Maybe I can hang some things on the inside. So this is where we are at this stage, and I'll keep you posted.